Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to alter a old Christmas bauble. So I'm sure we've all got baubles in boxes that we don't like anymore, that either don't match your colour scheme or they're getting a bit tatty around the edges, or you just don't like them. So I am going to take you through how we can alter one of these easily, pretty quickly, just using a few items. So what I'm going to use for this is, let's make sure my bauble doesn't fly off the table, some lace scraps that I've got. So you can also use just fabric, any old fabric scraps as well, but I'm just going to use lace today. I'm also going to use a few of these cotton lace doilies or flowers as well. We're going to be using some glue, or another alternative is a soft gel medium as well. So you can use either of these items. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prepare my bauble a little bit here. So these have got, this bauble, sorry, has got the crystals on that I just want to take off. So I'm just going to prise those off with a blunt craft knife. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply some of my glue. So this is just normal PVA glue again. Okay, so I'm just covering it all with the glue. Just put a little bit more on there. Okay, so I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper just to put my brush onto. Okay, so next we are going to be using the lace. So I've got some various designs and lengths of lace there, and I'm just simply just going to start popping that onto the surface of the ball. I'm also going to use contrasting sizes as well, or widths of lace. So I'm going to use like thinner and thicker, because that's going to look quite nice, I think. And I'm just going to pop that on over again, get the glue over the top of it. Okay, so my bauble is now dried off, so it is looking slightly ugly at this stage, but that's to be expected. Okay, so before I add some colour, I'm going to pop in some of these cotton lace flowers or doilies or snowflakes, I guess you could call them. So I'm just going to use a few of these. Okay, so cut this off. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to pop these in the areas that are a little bit sparse of lace. Okay, so my bauble has now dried off. Oops. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to paint it with some chalk paint. Okay, so this is pretty much chalkboard paint. You can use any chalk paint that you have, or any matte acrylic paint, or even if you've got some matte emulsion that you would paint a wall with, that can work as well. But I'm just using normal kind of craft chalk paint. Okay, so I'm going for a nice green colour with this, so I'm going to just go in with my brush and just going to give this a paint. So I'm going to do the top bit first, and then hopefully I'll be able to hold the little end of the bauble just so it's not going to go everywhere. So you want to work the paint into the lace, so this can take a little bit of doing, just tapping your brush into all those little crevices and just getting everything nicely covered. Some gone on my hanger, but I can wipe that off later, so no worries. And obviously by adding paint on top of it, it's sealing the lace further, so you've obviously sealed it with glue underneath, or 3D gel, soft gel on top and underneath, and then you've got paint as well, so everything's nicely sandwiched. And just going in there. Okay, so now you can see how everything's taking shape. So my bauble is now covered in paint, as are my hands, as usual. Okay, so that's all nicely covered, and because I've put so many layers on top of the lace, I will be able to dry this with a heat tool now, because the lace shouldn't really be melting with that much coverage on. Okay, so I'm just going to dry that off with my heat tool to speed things up. Okay, so my paint is now dried off with my heat tool, and I want to add a little bit of contrast onto the surface. Okay, so for this I'm going to use some Ecoline watercolour inks. Okay, So you could also use paint, so normal acrylic paint mixed with a little bit of water to dilute it. So you would want quite a dark brown or a dark grey or whatever to do that, and say just dilute it with some water. You can kind of get the similar effect, but I quite like using these, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to dot some of this onto my bauble with the end of a paintbrush, and then I'm just going to use a water bottle, so this is just normal water, and then I'm just going to spray my bauble, so you can see that ink starting to pick up all the details of the lace, which is nice. It adds a little bit of contrast and it just starts bringing the pattern out more. So I'm just going to pop this on pretty much most of the surface of my bauble. Just dot it along, add the water to mix it, get it moving around the surface. And you can see how that just really starts bringing everything out now, rather than it just looking too one-dimensional and green. Let's kind of rub that a little bit in over the surface as well. That's looking quite good now. So where the areas I've already wet, I'm just kind of rubbing that in. In some areas I just want it to be a little bit more pronounced and darker, so obviously I'm just literally going to leave that ink in those areas kind of pooling, and obviously because I've wet it, the ink will run anyway from the water. Okay, so that is what that looks like now. Picked up all the details, I think. So again, I'm just going to dry this off with my heat tool. Okay, so I've just dried off the bauble with the heat tool, and that's how it's looking now. So it's all nice and dry, and you can see all that detail has been picked up, so it's giving it a bit of a weathered, aged look on it now, which I quite like. Okay, so I'm going to start decorating the top of the bauble a little bit. Obviously, if you liked it like that, you could leave it as it is, or just pop a little bit of glitter on it. Just paint some glue on and sprinkle some glitter in some areas if you want. But I'm going to put some embellishments on the top of it. Okay, so I've got a few bits and bobs here. So these are just really old plastic leaves, which I think came out of a decorative holly sprig. So they're from my childhood. I'm not entirely sure where they came from, but I like them. They're really realistic, so they're quite cool. I've got some star anise spice. They're always nice at Christmas time. I've got some pine cones. Okay, so a few of those. There's one somewhere else. Also got a decorative berry sprig that I may use some bits and bobs off. Okay, so you can pick these up anywhere really. Florists, craft shops, your supermarket or local store, anywhere like that. I've got some more berries which were salvaged off an old Christmas decoration or some packaging. I cannot remember which. But those are always good, anything salvage that you can reuse. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Bauble. I'm also going to use a hot glue gun for this to adhere the embellishments on top of the Bauble. Okay, so let's see. I've just popped a piece of paper underneath my glue gun because I don't want that dripping on anything. Okay, so I'm just going to start sticking some of my embellishments down. I'm just going to add a little bit of the watercolour ink that I used earlier on, just to define the edges a little bit more. Just lifting the flowers up and just popping that on. Okay, so you can see there the sheen that we've got from the metallic paint, and if you wanted you could even just add an extra little bit onto the surface of the bauble. So I'm just going to dry brush this. So dry brush is basically just patting the excess off your paintbrush and then just running that over the surface of the bauble. And again, that's just adding that little bit of extra opaline metallic shine. So that's just pretty quick and easy way that you can alter an old ugly bauble, and just using some lace and a few embellishments that you may have in your cupboards. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.